Okay, just to let you guys know, I've been fucking with my fans for my computer. Oh. I've been fucking with my fans for my computer because I noticed there's something wrong with my CPU. And we'll talk about it later if you guys are interested. Maybe some of you guys understands this shit better than I do. But ever since I fucked something up, so now my fans are going too hard sometimes, which often makes my computer freeze a little bit. So just a heads up, if we get some technical issues today, bear with me, alright? And also give me a write 271 in the chat if you can hear me. Please, thank you. Just so I know that we're on air. In the meantime, for today's introduction, let me show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. Have you ever seen the heart of a chicken? Have you ever seen a chicken heart? I'll show you. This here is a chicken heart. It tastes pretty good. It tastes almost the same as chicken. Okay. So today we're going to be working on the Aston Martin, and I'm doing the Aston Martin on Patreon. So if you guys want to support the show, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about car modeling, then go check out my Patreon page in the description. I'm uploading some tutorials and some lessons about how I modeled everything about what you can see here on my screens right now. And we're going to continue working on this vehicle. As you can see, it's coming out quite nicely. They updated the matte caps here. So today, I am trying to deal with an issue that I ran into. Well, not an issue, but a particularly difficult part of this car, which is the side view mirror. And I already spent a couple of hours fucking around with this thing, but it's a very complex shape. So today, I don't know if we're even gonna produce anything. It's just gonna be me suffering, losing my mind over trying to figure out a good way to create this object. It is unbelievably difficult to create, for me at least. Maybe I'm autistic, maybe there's something wrong with me. So that's what's gonna happen today, and I'm doing that as a little bit of research before I can make it for a proper Patreon episode, so I can put it on there as a full, clean, comprehensive tutorial. And so far we got, I think, 15 episodes on Patreon, so there's that. And the next one is going to be about the side view mirror. So far I just finished working on the thing on top here. Well, I didn't finish it. I made it once, then I deleted it, and I'm going to do it again. So we're probably going to have to do this as well on stream, because you can see that mine is quite different from what we can see in the reference image. We're going to get into that in a second. And also I wanted to start this stream by answering one of my patrons' questions. Here's Mr. Mace Windu, who's with us here today. He asked me something about a Gridfill on Patreon, about a Gridfill problem that he was having. Then I sent him a message and I told him I would answer it on stream, but I just see in the chat he said he already figured it out, so he doesn't need no explanation. So in any case, shout out to Mr. Mace Windu. Yeah, guys, I don't know what the fuck's happening. The noise coming from the fans is getting on my nerves too. Let me put this on balanced. Put my fans on balanced to see if it changes anything. Okay. Just yesterday, and by the way, guys, if you got any questions for me, then just let me know, and we're gonna talk as we go. Just yesterday, I told a desperate single that his crush is single, and saw him suffer from the thought that he cannot still get in with her. What the fuck? Okay, and I'm eating peanuts today. We got 50 grams of peanuts, and we got a liter of milk. And after that, we're gonna do some beer. Okay. Okay. So now, the first thing we have to do, and I'm gonna put my reference pictures on my second screen because I don't like having them on my screen here. They get on my nerves. We have to figure out how to shape this thing properly. So look, this is the bar that I just pointed out to you, this thing. It's not a smooth, flat, clean surface. It's like if we draw a cross section here, check it out. Let's do a print screen. Ai deu pitch com materino. Look, it doesn't work over pure ref. Okay, so let's just do it over here on the side. So if we were to draw the cross section of this shape, I hope you guys can see this because it freezes the fucking screen. At the top, so if we look at it from the front, if we look at a cross section of this object here, it would sort of go downwards a little bit. And then it starts to curve downwards a little bit more. And then there's like a sort of, it sort of goes outwards a little bit. And then it goes down again. And that's the end of it. That's roughly this shape, okay? By the way, guys, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened in the crypto market? I didn't check the news yet. I don't know what happened. So we created this. I just made a short on my Instagram where I showed you guys how I made this thing. So you guys can go check that out. It's on my Instagram as well. In detail, I explained it on Patreon, but if you just want to have a quick look, that's on my Instagram. So I just followed the blueprint. I made one side, I made the other side, and then I used the Gridfill. And then I have to make the right shape. So this is where things get a little bit more complicated because I have to delete the bottom section. You can see this gray carbon fiber shit ends around here somewhere. And also it's like it's sort of going downwards. So it's not a straight line, it's supposed to be something like this, let's say. And guys, no screencast keys because Blender 5.0 fucked it up as usual. Blender 5.0, what do I think about it? I don't know. It's the same shit, basically. You know what gets on my fucking nerves about Blender updates? When there's a new Blender update out, okay, they introduce some cool new features. Features which most of us are never going to use. Me personally, I'm still fine working with 2.7. But every time there's a new Blender update, this is a total game changer. They changed everything. This was completely changed 3D modeling forever. Blender is changed forever. All these fucking YouTube videos from these nerds acting like they just reinvented the wheel. And then you people, you the viewers, are most at fault here because you guys get pumped up for this shit. You think that now that there's a Blender update, now all of a sudden you're gonna be able to be a 3D artist for real. Now everything becomes different for you. Now you can get serious about this shit. Nothing's gonna change with the new Blender update. It's the same shit as before. They updated a couple of features. Sometimes they add some cool new shit, fine, but a game changer? When was the last time they had a real game changer? Hold on, let's take a picture from the back. It's clean. Check it out. Look. So this is still that same edge. Hold on. And then it sort of fades into this. So we're supposed to select this and have that sort of go outwards. Let's say up until around, hold on a second. Let me turn off my wireframe here. What the fuck? This has to go downwards a little bit. Hey guys. You know, they kept asking me, Aryan, when are you gonna come to India? When are you gonna come to India? And I would always tell them, what the fuck am I gonna do in India? It's a shithole. I'm gonna get a disease, and I'm gonna get gang raped. I don't want to see that shit. What for? I'm sorry, but I don't want to see it. I like it when it's clean, and I like it when I can drink tap water. And I like it. I like places where there's where there is a little bit of cleanliness and order, and where I don't have to risk getting lung cancer from inhaling the air on the street. Forgive me, I don't mean to judge you, but that's just my personal preference. But circumstances have made it very convenient for me to swing by Mumbai. So that's what I'm going to do. Why am I interested in going there? Just because the things I just told you about this, about the cleanliness of that particular country, I do not speak from first-hand experience because I have not been there. However, what did I fuck up? I would very much enjoy the opportunity to gain some first-hand experience so that I can speak to you about the things I've experienced myself rather than just what I've heard about or what I've seen on the internet. So, I will take one for the team, guys. I will venture into that country myself, and then I will tell you if it's true, what they're saying. Because I don't jump to conclusions, right? I want to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. That's the term I was looking for. The benefit of the doubt to all my fans in India who have so warmly invited me to come to your country. I watched this documentary about India. You know what? Maybe I should shut the fuck up now. But I watched this documentary about Mumbai the other day on YouTube. Oh, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to tell you much because if I tell you the truth, it's going to get me in trouble. If I tell you my honest opinion, it's going to get me in trouble. But I think I don't even have to tell you. I think you guys already know what I'm thinking. Alright, so it's something like this. And also we have to make this, look, we already fucked up, we gotta undo. See how complex this shape is? Excuse me guys, I'm still sick. Remember I was sick last time? I got over it and then I got sick again when I went to Budapest. I partied a little too hard. We have to make the curve. Wait, let me wrap my head around the shape. Okay. So if we add a loop cut here, and we place the 3D cursor, let's say over here, and then we reselect that loop cut, I want my shear tool. I'm going to use my shear tool to shift this to the side. Check this out. And now that sort of pushes everything outwards. Okay. So we can get this round part at the front, but then it sort of blends in with the back. Now, that gives us a couple of triangles, which is not great, but we're going to fix that. Don't worry. However, in order to fix that, we're going to have to add some more geometry. We're going to have to remove some geometry. So let's slide this. Maybe this isn't the greatest idea of all time. Let's hold on. Yeah, we have to slide this in, but the problem is then we have okay, it's fine. Let's do it like this. We slide in a couple more. So let's say something like this. That one's still quite thin because I want to add a new loop cut here so I can get rid of this little triangle, turn that into a quad as Thomas Collin would. But I don't want to have a super long thin face. And the other thing that I gotta keep in mind is that when I add this, it's gonna give me some more geometry in the front. So don't expect to learn much. Don't expect to see much progress today, guys. You probably will learn something, but don't expect to see a lot of progress today because I'm just trying to figure it out. Maybe in 30 minutes I'll delete this entire object. Yeah, look, my lamp is fucking with me too. Everything is fucking me. Everything it's got to do with electronics. You can visit Jaipur city. Okay. Yeah, I am aware that Mumbai is one of the biggest cities on the planet, or one of the most populous cities on the planet, which naturally makes it one of the most polluted cities, also given the people that live there, because Tokyo is the most populous city on the face of the planet. And once again, I haven't been there, so I can't speak from experience. But I'm under the impression that Tokyo is a very clean and organized city. Why do you guys think that is? Tell me your opinion honestly. Why is Tokyo, which is bigger than Mumbai, Tokyo is probably like 42 million people, Mumbai is like 34 or something, right? Somebody Google that for me. Fact check it for me. Why is Tokyo clean? What is the difference? I wonder. See, look, this is no good because now we have this sudden shift. Right? Sudden change in direction, which I do not like. Civic sense. Civic sense here is shit. Yeah. You know what? Maybe we do another grid fill. Maybe we just do another grid fill. Hold on a second. Get rid of everything that we did so far. You know what's a place I would love to visit? I would very much love to visit, once again, the United States of Israel, America. I would love to visit the United States of America again. This time I would go to Utah or Arizona. I've heard that people are very decent in Arizona, in Phoenix. And in Arizona more broadly, much more so than in California. I heard that people are very decent there. Whereas in California, the people are much less decent. California, from what I hear, this is just rumors. This is just things that I hear from other people. I haven't been to California ever. It's a morally bankrupt state. It is morally bankrupt, is what I heard. I don't think Thomas Cullen is here with us today. Alright, are you Muslim? No. Come to Utah, we'll go snowboarding. That sounds really fucking cool. I would love to. I've never been snowboarding though. Hey, listen, can I go to Utah and shoot something? I'd like to go to Utah or somewhere in the States and shoot something, blow something up, shoot some guns, outdoors somewhere in the desert. I don't know if you guys can do that, and I don't know what the local laws are like, but I would very much like to do that. I'm aware that as a foreigner, I cannot purchase a firearm, correct? But if I can borrow somebody else's firearm, I would very much love to shoot something outside in the desert. Because in Croatia you can shoot guns outside, but it's not allowed. It's illegal. It's very much illegal, and you can go to prison for that. Well, I don't know if you would go to prison, but you would face consequences for discharging a firearm outside of a registered shooting range. Alright, so let's see this. You know what they told me about Japan? That if you go there as a different ethnicity, different as in completely different, non-Asian, let's say, or non Japanese, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know what the scope of this racism is, but they're very racist, and they see you as they don't even acknowledge you. My friend told me, he's Polish. He told me when you go there, you feel like a ghost. They don't want to be involved with you in any way because you're just you're not Japanese. You are inferior to them. And I understand them and I respect that sort of mentality. And they're especially racist towards people of color. Towards black people. I had a black professor and he told me that they literally move their kids away from you. They don't see you as somebody who it's appropriate to have your children around. Even though this is a very decent man. He's a professor at university in Hungary, even though he's American. A very decent, respectable man, but they still don't see beyond the skin color. Hold on a second, let me count my edges here. So Japanese people don't give a fuck. Okay, we're missing an edge, but I'm thinking maybe I can... Yeah, I remember what happened. Yeah, we gotta add an extra. Japanese people don't give a fuck. Okay, so... How many do we have here? 23. 23. And that gets us a little bit closer to the shape that we're trying to create here. Let's drink some milk. What are you snacking on? No, I'm snacking on peanuts. Baked, or whatever they do with them. Baked, without oil, and unsalted. Mike Tyson said, "Who gives a fuck about legacy?" What do I think? I think that he was saying that in the context of boxing. And his... I assume that his comment was about... I remember hearing that he said that. I don't know the context of what the conversation was about, but... Kaisar, look. I believe that what he's saying is he doesn't care about the legacy he's gonna make in boxing. What he cares about is his family. He doesn't give a fuck about boxing, which has been his view for a very long time. So he's not the same man that he once was when he was young and vain, where the belt meant everything. Now he's older and wiser, and he understands it's the only thing that matters is family. Familia es todo. So he doesn't give a fuck about his boxing legacy. That's what I believe he said. Now, if you mean legacy in general, of course that matters, because your family is your legacy. We're programmed to live for our legacy. Some people reach beyond this, but for the most part, we're programmed from a young age to prioritize our legacy over everything else. And at least in the form of raising children, raising a family, which is going to later on continue our bloodline. So in that sense, I absolutely do care about legacy. In terms of some sort of sport. For what? So a bunch of fucking people that I got nothing to do with can praise me? I don't gain anything from that. Every grave goes unvisited. Did we just fuck this all up, guys? Hold on. This one has to be a little bit... let's do it... just deflate it a little bit. I'm overthinking this. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take this Alt-E, extrude faces along normals. That didn't even do its job at all, because it's not extruding it. It is. No, but then we're gonna extrude it sideways. And let's take a look here. That has to merge in a little bit earlier, and we can get rid of fuck. So the bottom has to stay filled. See how theirs looks so much shorter and thinner than mine? But I'm just following my blueprint here. Maybe I'm not. I don't like this fucking shape. We need more geometry. Because one day, you know what it is, guys. Now I'll hold that thought back. I won't share that one with you because I gotta rethink it. Aryan, my man, picks up girls with his skills in eating protein and working on it. What the fuck are you talking about? My friends just burst on the site of their crush. Meanwhile, I am the menacing guy who drags them towards them. You drag the crush towards your friends because your friends are punks and you got some hair on your balls. Exactly, who would not want to slap the rig out of you? I'm trying to put this together. And he's watching the stream on mute, so this guy's talking to me, but he's not listening to me. Oh, greetings from Denmark. Greetings to Denmark. You know, Denmark was the second place where I ever got recognized on the street. This summer I was in Copenhagen, and a kind gentleman approached me. Maybe you were him in Islands. And I was pretty fucked up. We were on the beach just chilling. Well, it's not a beach, but you understand. And this guy stops me, and he starts chatting with me. I didn't understand. I didn't know who he was, so I asked him if we met somewhere before or something. He told me he just watches me on YouTube. We were talking on live stream, so that was pretty cool. He works at some keyboard company, and he's doing some cool product animations. So we had a little chat about that. Fuck me. You know what we need? We need more geometric consistency in this situation. And we're gonna have to get rid of this. So we're gonna have to slide these edges into the outside. How many times a year do you go on vacation? What do you mean by vacation? Because I travel somewhere. I travel outside the country at least once a month. Last month it was twice. This month it's going to be twice. Next month I'll be away the whole month practically in January. So I'm always somewhere. I'm always on the road. Okay. And you know what? You know what's the coolest part about it? I don't even enjoy. I don't enjoy traveling. I don't. I'm not like those chicks that loves fucking traveling. They put it in their bio. I don't enjoy traveling, but you get a lot of stories. You get a lot of life experience from moving around, from being all over the place, for getting yourself into all sorts of situations. And that's the part that's what I do it for. Not for my enjoyment. What the fuck am I gonna see in Barcelona that I can't see at home? What am I gonna get drunk in a different bar? See a different sight? I've seen more beauty than any creation of man can offer. Yeah, Danish people are super kind. They're too kind, I would say. Which is why guys like me don't really fit in too well over there. Which is one of the reasons I had to move out of Denmark. I used to study there. And you know, it's a very promising future for Eastern Europeans like me, but I can't. I can't I can't assimilate there. I can't assimilate there, however, I respect the place, and what I do when I recognize that I cannot assimilate here is I get out of there. While some people, unfortunately, they convince you that there's something wrong with you and you should change to accommodate them. You shouldn't change to accommodate me. I very much like visiting Denmark, and it's a super cool place. But I cannot live there anymore. This is not gonna fucking work, is it? You know, sometimes I'll sit here and watch this whole series of documentaries, or just listen to 7 podcasts in a row or something. The other day I put on a show. I put on Mr. In Between, and I went through like the whole 2 seasons just on the side. I don't watch it. I just play it so I have something keeping me company as I'm modeling. While I was doing something on this fucking car, and I made no progress at all. I was doing basically the same as I'm doing this whole time on this live stream, but I made no progress because I couldn't figure it the fuck out. See, like what I'm doing now, I'm about to give up on my on what I'm doing here right now, and delete everything and start over. So this is like a, what do you call it? A Hail Mary is what the Americans call it. See, this is not right. This is not right. What we could do is, instead of this one that I just pulled out of my ass, we could do this. You know, the Danish people, they're very kind, extremely kind. So much that I've noticed that people take advantage of you people. People take advantage of you. And I could tell you some stories to tell you what I mean by that, but I assume that you already know this. People take advantage of the incredible society that you guys have built, which was based on trust. It was based on merit. It was based on education. So you, the Danish people, it's kind of the same as what I understand happened to Sweden. Is Denmark filled with Middle Eastern invaders? I want you to Google something. Google the percentage of the Copenhagen population which is Islamic. Google it right now. I can't tell you because then I'd be a conspiracy theorist. I earned that title when I was 17 years old by a professor. But I want you to Google it and tell me what you guys find, because maybe I misread it. Okay, so see what the problem is now. I need to tighten up this corner like this and like this, but I don't have enough geometry for that. So we need more geometry, which means a whole bunch of loop cuts. Is there a way? Yes, there is. We're going to subdivide everything, but the horizontal subdivisions we're going to dissolve. So dissolve these and also fix this. So did you guys Google it? And also we can dissolve these. We don't need these. Tell me what it says, guys. And tell me if you think that's a good thing or a bad thing. 5.5% Denmark in total. Yeah, because the Danish countryside and the smaller cities, Aarhus, fucking Aalborg, Odense, they're not, to my understanding, they don't have a lot of foreign migrants. But it's Copenhagen. Copenhagen is the big scene. If I had skills like yours, I would never worry about AI. Well, personally, I never worry about AI. Because I just know that right now, there is no way that AI can get anywhere close to what a good 3D modeling artist can do. It's not even a discussion for now. It's just like, it's ridiculous. The question is, well, what's gonna happen in the future? Because you guys know this shit changes overnight. It changes very rapidly. So who knows? But what I think is that no matter what happens, there's gonna have to be somebody operating the fucker, right? It's like, okay, well, AI can make amazing product commercials. Sure, it can. It makes some awesome visuals, but somebody still has to do that. It's not gonna be the fucking CEO doing it. It's gonna be a guy who's making the advertisements. Instead of 10 guys, it's gonna be one guy. Instead of 100 man hours, it's gonna be 5 man hours, let's say. Tell me what your thought on. They offered me to some AI generation company offered to sponsor my videos. AI 3D model generation. They told me, "Ari, we want to advertise." I'm not gonna tell you their name, but you all know them. I didn't reply, and I won't. Copenhagen 47.4. Are you fucking kidding me? It told me it was like 25 or something when I googled it. I don't believe that it's 47, but just based off of having lived there for a couple of years and seeing the population, but it's a large number. I would say a quarter seems about right to me. But I'm surprised, but I wouldn't say I'm shocked by that figure. You know what? I don't feel like doing this shit anymore, guys. Fuck it. It's good. It's good. One more thing. No, fuck it. Let's leave it as is. Object shade smooth. Yeah, see if we want to take care of this thing back here, we gotta redistribute the geometry a little bit. We're gonna do that on the entire edge loop. Okay. And then we could also let's do this. I'm gonna take everything here and nah, never mind. Change my mind. This here, this triangle, we should get rid of using one of these, right? As always. And that makes it sort of fade away in a relatively clean way. It can be cleaner, but I don't want to do that shit right now. It's enough. And then we can also redistribute this a little bit more. Or once again. There we go. Good thing that I live in Poland. Yeah, Poland is amazing. I'm going there for New Year's. For New Year's, I'm going to a massive house party in Warsaw. And we're also going to Smolna. So if anybody wants to assassinate me, that's where you can find me. To be assassinated by Mossad would be an honor. Worked for a granite shop. Had to program the water jet to cut countertops. Used to be like 5 guys' job to cut it. And what happened now? Now it's just one guy with AI. Oh, Lando won the title. You know what? The first time I the first time I started watching Formula 1 was because of Lando Norris. I found this YouTube video came up to me like 2018 or something. 19 maybe. And it was Formula 1 driver drives racing simulator. It was Lando Norris. And I was like, let me see what Formula 1 drivers look like nowadays. Because my grandpa would watch this shit all the time whenever I was a kid, and I would just, look at the TV and I didn't understand anything. And there's Lando Norris, and then because I clicked on that video, then it gave me some more videos from me, like some vlogs and shit, tour of the McLaren headquarters and shit like that. And it sparked my interest. I thought it was a cool guy. And then I started watching. I tuned into the next race on Sunday on TV. I woke up in the morning. I think it was Suzuka that I tuned into. And it was Lando, but at that time it was Lando and Sainz. And McLaren wasn't doing too well. McLaren wasn't doing too well that season, I believe. And then But I liked Lando first. It was like the guy that I came to watch for. I wanted to see how he's doing. And then at that time it was probably like consistently clocking in P10 or something like that, P8. And now here he is. You said he won the title. He beat Verstappen. That's fucking crazy. I haven't been watching this shit for a long time because I don't have time for this shit, guys. I got my life to live. That's when I decided to stop watching sports because, well, there's shit that I would rather do than watch sport or watch entertainment. But it is a fascinating sport in any case. For what it is, it's fascinating, the technology and the way it works. Okay. So let's say this is good enough. Now we're gonna take this geometry and we gotta bring it down to the bottom. This is following my blueprint, so this is roughly alright. Maybe it should be a little bit more curved, but this has to merge with the panel for the door down here. You know what somebody told me, Mr. Unknown? Let me try to be very careful with my words here. You know the Kakalik nazываем, Martin, yeah, about that. Kakalik называем. You know the people that wear the hats?
No.
You know, the small hat people? Somebody told me, a girl told me, so I take it with a grain of salt because, you know, a girl told me that half of the Polish people are of descent of the small hat people. And now I want to ask another Polish person whether they've heard something similar. Because I don't believe that shit for 1 second, but that would explain a lot of things. Like, for example, why Poland is exempt from the invasion, so to speak. Why Poland gets a break. Although that wouldn't be a strong argument because there are other countries which don't have the same demographic phenomenon going on as what I just told you about Poland. And they are still exempt from the invasion, seemingly. Such as Hungary, for example. Did I tell you guys how I got scammed in Hungary? Hey, don't use that emoji, it's not allowed. Oh yeah, I did say I would make it, and I did make the tutorial, but I didn't publish it, I didn't finish it. I don't know why. So I had a change of heart for some reason. Well, I wouldn't say I support Lando Norris. Because what am I doing? Watching? I'm not gonna buy his fucking merch. I'm not gonna. He doesn't need my money. I'm not gonna do anything. There's no way I'm contributing. So I don't know if supporting is the right word. And to be frank with you, it makes no difference to me whether he wins or loses. It's just, you know, it's quite an interesting change of events for the people who are following the sport. Let's put it that way. And I acknowledge that it's interesting, but that's about it. I don't know if that qualifies as me supporting the guy. Or maybe my ego just doesn't let me admit it. You know, I used to like Verstappen because he was always the bad guy. He's always the bad guy, and the kid was 17 when he joined F1. Not that Lando was a lot older, but the fucker was 17 driving Formula 1. Or what was he, 16 or something ridiculous like that. But then I saw the whole ordeal with the woman, with the girl. You know who I'm talking about. Name her, I forget her name, but you know who I'm talking about. If you've been following this shit for a while, you know who I'm talking about. And I was like, come on, man. Listen, you're a fucking Formula 1 driver. You got millions. You're one of the most famous athletes on Earth. And you're participating in this shit? Come on, man. At least cheat on her. Poland's 98% Catholic, and if someone had Jewish ancestry, they most likely would still be Jews. Interesting insight. Interesting insight. Or maybe they are excuse me, I got peanuts stuck in my fucking mouth. Maybe they're concealing their real identity. As you know, a lot of people do. Okay, so look. This is not supposed to be flat. This is not supposed to be flat, and I made it flat. One way to make it unflat. So yeah, this is what you get, guys, for being a cheap fuck. It's a low resolution picture, we can't see anything, but even if it was high resolution, it's probably inaccurate anyway, so who gives a fuck. We take this and we use our shear tool. There we go. And then we would also have to change the shape of this, but we already pretty much finalized this. But we would have to lift it up, and then I gotta check if... Hold on, let me look at my pictures for a second. So what I don't know now from looking at these pictures is whether it's okay to have this sort of curve up at the end. So you see that, you see how if we look at this part, it's going here, and then at the end it sort of curves up, right? Shoots up. Is that the way it's supposed to be, or or is it supposed to be just constant? Are we supposed to raise everything else? That's what I don't know, because if it's a ladder, then we can't do this thing here. But if it's the former, we can lift this up a little bit, and no problem, we can connect everything. That might actually be pretty cool, but I don't know. If somebody's got an Aston Martin in the back, then go check it out and tell me. But if you got an Aston, you're probably not watching my fucking videos. Danny Kvyat's seat and his wife and children. Yeah, there you okay. So you're telling me you stole a woman that has children with another man. You steal that woman, and by the way, she's much older than you. And then on top of that, you treat her. Now, it's one thing to fuck her. To fuck her as a sort of assault on another man. You fuck his wife or whatever. That's one thing. But to take her as a serious relationship, and this girl is known for, you know, guys, well, you know what she's known for. I don't even have to say it. For those of you who never heard, you know what she's known for. She's got a reputation. She's been around the block. From what I recall, she was known for that. Man, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about her or any of those guys. I really don't give a fuck. I couldn't care less if they live or die. I don't give a fuck, guys, to be honest with you. Got nothing to do with me. It's not my problem. So I don't give a fuck at all. Okay, now let's get to the tricky part. The real tricky part. This shit so far was easy. Samo napred kralju. Hvala lijepa. Yeah, Mr. Shatty Gamer, that's actually a pretty good idea. And that would actually work out quite well. Because in order to get paid work, you don't even have to you don't have to have a final product ready. You don't have to have some sort of a portfolio of completed projects and successful projects from real clients. You don't need that. You don't. What you do need is something that shows that you operate in this field and that you can make something and that you work on things and you do things. They're not gonna go digging. They're not gonna go digging. They just want to see that you're in the ballpark. Because you guys would be surprised with how low your competition is once you start thinking about the fact that people hire off of who they know and who they're already connected with. That's much what's the word I'm looking for? That's much bigger a factor in their decision than your skills, because there can be somebody. Listen, if you're okay, let's say me, I needed to get my family needed some plumbing work on a house not long ago, and we had to find a plumber. Vodoinstallateur jebiga. So I don't care who the best plumber in Croatia is. It really does not matter. What matters is I need a plumber who can do a decent job, as in they can get the job done. They don't have to be the best in the fucking country, because it's not a complex job by any means. It's not like we're building a fucking skyscraper, okay? And I want to know that they're decent and that you can trust them. So how can I know that I can trust them if a good friend of mine vouches for them? If a friend who I trust, if they can vouch for that person, then I know, okay, yeah, that person's good. That fucking plumber's gonna be good. So I asked my friend, do you know a plumber? Indeed, he knows a plumber because he worked in that industry. And we called the guy, got the job done, and everything was great. So if you told me there was another guy who's a million times better, okay, maybe, but I don't know you, I don't know him. You vouching for him or Google vouching for him doesn't mean anything to me, because I don't know you. I don't know if your approval means anything. And everybody basically sees the world the same way. So the business people that you're talking about, hold on, let me fill this. If they happen to know you, they don't care about if this guy was better. Just if you're decent at it, you'll get the fucking job, not some other guy, not Aryan. Even if Aryan's better than you at modeling cars or modeling interiors, this guy doesn't want to talk to fucking Aryan. He doesn't know who that fucker is. He's gonna talk to you and hire you to do the job, even if you might not be that good. So what it is, at the end of the day, is the connections that are gonna get you. They're gonna get you in the door. If you know people. And how do you get to know people? As a wise man taught me when I was a little boy, not a little boy, but a teenager, is you have to live a social life of abundance. That's one of the prerequisites to success in life. And by the way, you guys are aware that social media has the word social in it. Everybody knows that. But for some reason people overlook it. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Somebody sent me a super chat, but I forgot to acknowledge it. Patreon is declining my card here. What should I do? Send me an email. If you can't find it, you can go to my Instagram. It's in the description. You can also send me a message there, or you'll find my email address there. You can send me an email. So you can DM me on Instagram. Just tell me your name. Tell me I'm the guy from YouTube so I remember you. And we'll fix it. So I'm trying to fill in this surface which holds the fucking thing, but you know, I'll show you guys a little cheat code. In a moment, as soon as we fill in this surface. Guys, I want to read the fucking chat. I don't even want to do the modeling. You guys are better than the fucking 3D modeling. Bro, ask someone in family or bank if you can then show a bankruptcy. I don't understand what you're talking about. with company papers and debt and do seed funding for the company, and voila, you got money on seed funding. Use that to settle in Dubai. You fucking criminal. You know, I love this mentality. I don't know if you're right, but I love this way of thinking. No one wants to risk their project by giving it to a new person, because there's uncertainty about whether they can deliver on time. Yeah, that's what needs somebody to vouch for that person. Okay, so if you want to be professional, you need people who are able to vouch for you. That's the only way. That's anything in life. How can you ever make friends because you have something vouching for you, somebody or something vouching for you? If you don't have anybody to introduce you, let's say you go to a fucking party, there are other things that you can create to vouch for you. For example, the way you dress. If you dress decent and you behave yourself in a decent way with good manners, and you present good social skills, then people know, okay, this guy's well socialized, he's not a fucking creep, he's not a weirdo, he's not gonna ruin the night. We can welcome him, we can take him as one of us. If you're a business, you don't have nobody who can vouch for you in front of another company that you want to do business with or get hired with. What you do is you set up a profile which can reflect certain attributes or certain qualities, and that profile is going to vouch for you, and that goes a long way. For example, for me, my big Instagram page vouches for me. If I meet somebody new, they know that I'm cool because of my Instagram page, even though from my perspective it's stupid. I make a fucking video and all of a sudden people like it. It can be the shittiest video I can record on my screen. People follow me in the thousands because of that. From my perspective it's stupid, but it works. It works. And all of a sudden people are, more people want to be your friend. Companies want to work with you because you have this profile vouching for you. It's social proof. If 56,000 people, or whatever my followers are on Instagram, if 56,000 people clicked follow, in their eyes that means that I somehow qualify. I am better. I am good. Because other people have validated the fact that I am legit, so they don't have to, I qualify. That's human nature. We don't want this last one. See, we gotta connect these two surfaces. But the other problem is that I am overthinking it. Because this Blender shit makes you autistic. See, look. Fuck me. Blender and 3D modeling makes you autistic. I take that to the grave with me. We can just do Gridfill. We just make sure that the curve here doesn't go backwards all of a sudden. I think it's fine. Right? We push it outwards a little bit. We can do a Gridfill. See if we can do it here. Yes, we can. Span 2. Yeah, guys, my CPU is giving me problems. I saw that, Andy, man. Message retracted. Why'd you retract it? Why be the victim? Just be the criminal. Listen, guys, if I see you speaking in a different language, that makes me feel like you're challenging my authority, you're challenging my rule. This is my domain, this chat right here. This is my empire. And we have an official language. The official language is English and Croatian. 2 official languages here. And anybody who defies that from now on shall be executed. I'm a decent man, so I will make it known. Aryan, stop talking about jobs. Let's talk about love, deception, and why nobody should ever marry. What did I just say? I'm the emperor here. Alright, that's not how you talk to an emperor. You say, please, your majesty, would you consider changing the subject? The people might like it very much. Sir. No, but love and deception. I don't know. What exactly you had in mind. But why people should never marry, I wouldn't make that argument. I think I understand why you say what you say. Hold on, they told me, look, use creases. Keep corners, yeah. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say people should never marry. This has to be straight. However, let me tell you my view on this stuff. And what do I know? I'm 25. I'm unmarried, but I could have been. Unmarried, I think that's what you use to describe women. Women are unmarried. I am not married. I didn't marry nobody yet. But I could have. But I refused. And I refuse because I do not see the point. I do not see the purpose. I do not see the benefit for me. Why should I do that? Why? What do I gain from it? The reason that people marry is because the woman wants it. Because it benefits the woman. Because it sort of puts you under a. What you do is you publicly give yourself. You publicly state that from now on you will be loyal to this one partner. So that gives the woman assurance, or it gives the other person assurance, not necessarily the woman. I'm saying woman because I'm talking from my perspective as a man. It gives the other person assurance that you will not leave them. Okay, now as a man, I'm speaking here from my experience. I don't need you to perform nothing like that I don't need the woman to perform nothing like that for me to be 100% sure that she is not going to leave me. I don't need that sort of stunt. I have other ways of knowing whether a woman's going to leave me or not, and I'm not going to get into that unless somebody asks. But women don't really have this. So women will see a man and they'll think, okay, well, this fucker is great. What if eventually he finds a hotter chick and he leaves me for her? Okay, fair. However, let me throw this at you. If we do get married, how is that gonna stop me? It ain't gonna stop me. The only thing is that now there are consequences, right? There are going to be repercussions because you can threaten them with a divorce. So basically, when you marry somebody, you get leverage over the other person. You gain leverage over each other, and that's supposed to keep you guys together. Because now, I'm not going to fuck this up because she's going to take the house. She's going to take half my money or whatever the laws in your particular country are. So basically, you're making a contract with another institution to ensure yourself in case this person decides to leave you. So first of all, that shows me that there is no personal bond powerful enough that you can just agree on it as human beings. So I would say that the connection is not genuine if you need something like that. And second of all, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be in a situation where I give somebody leverage over me in order for them to feel more comfortable in my faith, in my faithfulness, let's say. Because how do I know then that one day this bitch won't go crazy and just decide to divorce me for some other bullshit reason because I don't know why. Who knows? And now she got leverage over me because 40 years ago I decided that I want to get married. People change. Who knows what's going to happen 40 years from now? Who the fuck knows? which is exactly why she wants to get married, because who the fuck knows what's gonna happen 40 years from now. But what I can tell you as a beautiful man is that you don't need to, women will not demand you to get married. They will still be with you if you do things right. So if you don't want to get married, you don't have to, and you can still have an incredible relationship with a woman, and she will never pressure you to do this. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a fuck if you do things right. She just wants you to be with her and to love her. Problem is that most guys can't do this, so they get used for their resources, which is why the woman needs a contract to ensure resources. What should be the case is that you have your partner who's blindly in love with you, completely head over heels in love with you, and then you don't need a fucking contract. Then you have a responsibility to God to take care of this person, because they offer you pure love, pure affection, and you owe it to God to take care of this person. And if you need a contract to tell you to take care of them, then you're a piece of shit, and you're going to hell either way. Not that it's for me to judge that, but you know. That's my take. Okay, so we got this rough shape here. Alright. I was gonna let it slide as an accident, but now you're going to the shadow realm for 10 minutes, you piece of shit. And I would love to tell you what laptop I got, but now I won't, just because you were acting inappropriately. So now you have to live the rest of your existence without knowing what laptop Ariana uses. That's your punishment. May God have mercy on your soul. If we bend this a little more, check it out. 1.1. What do you guys think of my take in marriage? You know, there's going to be somebody who's going to say, oh, that's a retarded take. L take. Terrible take. Fuck you. That's why we're talking about my opinion and not yours. You know, the art of conversation is a dying art these days. The art of debate. The art of debating. I don't like this. Some fucker who sent the same question 17 times. Yeah, I use a laptop. You know why? So that I can go to a different country and still do my work. So I can travel the world. Guys, I'm going to spend January in Thailand. Most likely, unless work requires me to cancel my trip. But I'm going to go to Thailand and check it out. And to be honest with you, I'm not attracted to that place at all. I don't really look forward to it. I don't think there's anything there for me. I don't like places where there's a lot of tourists, Western tourists. I don't like that shit at all. What I just want is some warm weather. And just a little bit of a change of environment. Just so it's something. You know what? I should have chosen fucking Mauritania. Or Western Sahara. That's what I should have chosen. Not fucking Thailand. But whatever. And on the way there, I'm gonna go through Istanbul. Because I took the cheapest fucking ticket. Because I'm like that. I'm a cheap fuck. But not only because it was the cheapest, but also because I have to spend like 3 days in layovers, which gives me a day in Istanbul, which is a city in a country that I've never been to, and Mumbai, which is another city in a country that I've never been to. So I get my country count up by a couple. I get to see something new. I get stories to tell. It's going to be tough. But I'm going to come back with some stories for you guys. Maybe I'll do some steroids. What do you guys think? Should I do some steroids in Thailand? Steroids are legal in Thailand. Okay. So see, the thing now is that we can't, and I've tried this so many times before. We cannot create the fucking this thing here by just extruding it from the surface, sort of like this. We cannot do that. It's not gonna work. It might work, but it depends on how much detail we want to create here. So let me show you guys something. Not my chimps, but you guys can look at my chimps while I prepare this. File import. Fucking hell. Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. Okay. So I've downloaded an Aston Martin from the internet, from Sketchfab. That's how much I suffer. This is considered cheating. This doesn't count if you do this. You're not allowed to do this. Okay. I see Aryan creating a travel vlog channel. I don't know, man. I feel kind of weird walking around with a camera, but maybe. I don't know what I could say to that camera that hasn't already been told, but maybe. I see people seem to be quite interested in my personal life, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll give you guys some fucking, some insights. Right now I'm growing some king oyster mushrooms. And I'm gonna see where that road takes me. Who would have thought to look at me? But anyway, here's our Aston Martin. I had to take a look at what this mirror looks like, because you just can't. Try looking for pictures of this fucking thing, of this car. You won't be able to see the side view mirror from underneath. I couldn't find nothing. I've been Googling, I couldn't find nothing. So, I don't know how this person got this information. Whoever created this thing on Sketchfab, I downloaded this from Sketchfab. Shout out to whoever the fuck created this. But this is what it looks like from underneath. I guess maybe they just went up to one of these in real life. Okay. And I just want you guys to take a look at this shape and how fucked up it is. Okay. So if we really want to cheat, if we really want to completely abandon all human restraint and decency, like Colonel Kurtz, or Mr. Kurtz, then we would simply trace this geometry with a new set of geometry, with a new set of polygons, and we would make ourselves a frame from this by following these proportions, these measurements, and then later we would attach that to our car. Now, the problem is that sort of defeats the purpose of me making a tutorial, because what happens when you're going to be making something that you don't have an existing 3D reference for? However, if you really have to make something that you don't have any image references for, then probably you have some other sort of reference. Let's say Aston Martin hires you to make their side view mirror according to the sketch that they made. Well, then you got some more pictures and you got some measurements. You can ask them for some more resources. You're not going to be in a situation where you're Googling pictures on fucking Google. And I've been wrestling with the morality of this. So let me ask you a question, guys. Let's do some democracy here for once. If, let's say, you go to Aryan's Patreon because you want to learn to model cars, and Aryan does everything right, but occasionally he runs into this mirror that he tells you, listen, guys, this shit is, it's too complicated to try to do it from reference images. What you're gonna do instead is just download a model and just trace over it. Fuck it, this is gonna be our cheat code. Would you look at that and think, wow, this guy is a fucking scammer? Or would you be like, you know what, it works, so who gives a fuck? What would you do? What would you think? What would you think of me? you're a loyal supporter of mine. You go to my Patreon page, and you go to me for more for guidance, because you consider me to be very good at this stuff, and you really like me. And then you see that. Would you accept it, or would you think it's unacceptable? Mr. Howard, thank you very much. Take pics from this and then do it. Yeah, you know what, Mr. Akramali ass. That's actually not a bad idea. You'd be angry. It's acceptable until you lie about what you did. I want to see how this could be done better. It's fine for to ref other people's stuff, but I'm interested in how you'd build it. Okay. You see, guys, the reason this is a dilemma is because if you're working for an automotive design, okay, and you work on 3D modeling cars, but for real, okay? Don't ask me how I know this, because I'm not going to tell you, but trust me, I know. Alright? What happens is, of course, there are different situations. There are different, depends on what your job is, depends on what company you work at. But what happens is, you get sort of like drawings, alright? And then if they're coming up with a new original design, they're trying to make a new car, what they do is they first produce a rough sort of drawing of this thing, and then they give you that, and then you have to turn that into 3D. You have to make it from your own, you have to make it the way that you see fit, alright? So you basically come up with something original, sort of, loosely based on a sketch that they give you. And I know this because I've done this before, okay? And I've done this in a professional setting. I've done this for work. I know I just told you that I'm not going to tell you, but that's how I know. So, in that case, you have some, what do they call it, artistic freedom, artistic liberty, or whatever the fuck is the term I'm looking for. Or, if you have to recreate an existing model in a professional setting, somebody paid you to do it, and it has to be 100% right, then it is their job to provide you with the right references. So it's never going to happen that you're in a situation like I'm in right now, where I got to recreate the exact fucking thing, but I don't know what it looks like because I'm not going to picture it. That's never going to happen in the real world. So I think I'm going to go with Mr. Akramalias's advice, with his input. And we're going to, in my final tutorial for this thing, I'm going to pull this thing out, and we're going to make some references of this thing. So we're going to take some screenshots as you would be able to in real life. So we can't do orthographic projection, because that's cheating. You can't do that in real life. If you walk up to an Aston Martin, there's no orthographic projection IRL. But we can take a picture from up here with a, say, a 35mm lens or something. We can take it from the side, or maybe we step back a little bit. You can do this in real life. You can step back and you can zoom in. That gets you a little bit closer to orthographic projection. And we take a picture from over here to get the side, and from the front, and then maybe a picture from somewhere around here. Okay, and then you can go off of that. That makes it much easier. Take a picture from underneath. So that's what we would do. which pretty much wraps up this live stream for me, because my goal with this live stream was to figure out a way to do this properly. It was not to actually make it, it was to figure out how I'm going to do it. Which is why in the beginning, I didn't promise you guys that you're going to see much. What you're going to see is me thinking and me suffering. That being said, we can do a little bit more modeling. We can do a little bit more something. Let's see, what am I overdue on? Something that I had to create. Let's see, we can fix up something underneath here. Guys, all of this stuff is on Patreon. So I made everything from the hood. We started with the hood. We made the basic shape. Then we cut the holes for the headlights. For these things, we modeled everything from scratch. From scratch. No paid add-ons, nothing. Everything legit, clean topology. Look at my fucking topology, guys. Then we made this part down here. I made the grill. The grill was pretty fucking cool. The grill was really cool. And I'm also using a bevel node on this. So it's not going to be too sharp when we render it. I don't want to bevel it for real, because that's going to give me an unbelievable amount of polygons, and it's not going to look right. But in rendered view, hopefully this doesn't crash my computer given my CPU issues that I mentioned to you guys. You can see that it looks like it's beveled. We still got to improve it a little bit, but it doesn't look like they're completely sharp, right? Still some work to do there, but I got episodes on how I made the grill from scratch, so it fits the frame. Then we made the door after that. After the hood, we made this surface here, which was very difficult. This part down here was a real fucking headache. I've been struggling a lot with this, but we made it. We have this part down here, which I have to close with a couple more faces. Look, I have an extra segment there, and we're still gonna have to cut this. Then after that, we made this surface in the back, this one here. So look at that. This was also a real pain in the ass. This part was pretty simple, but this was real difficult. This was all right. After that, we did the back. Look at the topology, guys. Hold on. Might have some issues. Let me check. It's not bad. It's quads only. Topology is pretty clean. Every step of the way, guys, I show on Patreon on my tutorials. So if you guys want to be able to create that, then go check it out. You can also ask me some questions. So if you at any point struggle with something, if you get stuck somewhere, you can ask me a question, and then maybe I'll make a video or something, or I'll definitely answer your message so I can help you out. We made the gaps. I made a video about that yesterday. So if you guys want to learn about car modeling, it's all there. Car modeling, guys, in case you did not know, is one of the most in-demand .3D modeling skills. Let's put it that way. It's very fucking difficult. It's very hard to do. Is it the hardest? I don't know. I'm just saying it's up there. So if you guys learn to model cars and you learn to do it right, it's going to be very hard to learn. It's going to give you a lot of headache. But if you want to know whether or not you're intelligent, a good way to test is to see if you can learn 3D modeling cars in polygon-based 3D modeling with good topology and make it look really nice. If you can do that, you cannot do that if you're not an intelligent person, if you don't have a high IQ. So you don't need no IQ test. Listen to Aryan's IQ test. You can test your IQ for free with my method. Take a year to study Blender. If you can get good at car modeling, that means your IQ is high. And you're definitely going to find some pretty good work, because few people can actually do that. You know what everybody can do? Not just everybody, but everybody and their mother can do this stuff. It's great for learning, but just understand the competition in doing these things is huge, because it doesn't take a lot of effort. It's not very difficult to do. Alright? I can make you this scene in 2 hours or less, probably. Probably an hour. If I speedrun this, I can probably do this shit in less than an hour. While drunk and fucked up on cocaine. So, car modeling is one of those things where you don't have a lot of competition. If you can model a car, you can model everything. Well, I wouldn't say everything, because you guys saw how much I struggle with even the most basic elements of sculpting a human figure. It's not the same. It's a different sport. Yeah, sneakers are pretty tough too, but I find car modeling to be a lot more difficult. I modeled sneakers before I could model cars. I also want to be successful in this era. Okay, Mr. Shatir, let me give you a therapy session. Mr. Shatir, what you have to do, and by the way, I do consultations, guys. Mari, neće mi ovaj consultation link da radi. Yeah. My consultation thing is down, guys, but I do one-on-one consultations. If somebody needs a one-on-one consultation for anything from 3D modeling to life advice, you can let me know. My website seems to be down at this moment, but just let me know. Send me a message or send me an email on Instagram. You'll find my email and my DMs. But in this case, Mr. Shatir, he says, I want to be successful in this era, but distracted and don't know where to start. So much tutorial are there. Okay, so what you have to do now is you have to stop and think for a second. Use your mind, alright? It is the most powerful tool you can ever have. Use your mind. What you do is you think to yourself, okay, there are many tutorials out there, but I don't know where do I have to start. So how can I find the answer to this question? Okay, I can ask Aryan, but Aryan can give me a fish. He's not going to teach me how to fish. Well, in this case, I am teaching you how to fish, but, you know, if you ask a professional, they're going to give you a fish. They're not going to teach you how to fish. You should be able to deduce this shit yourself. Where do you begin? So I'm going to teach you how you can deduce this sort of how you can deduce the answer to this question for anything else, whether you're trying to learn ice skating or how to talk to women or anything else, or how to read or whatever. So you understand that you have to learn how to be good at 3D modeling. And to do that, you're going to have to use a tool which is called Blender 3D or 3ds Max. Okay. Or maybe you want to learn how to box. And for that, you're going to have to use your body, and you're going to have to use some moves. So what I'm saying is you have to learn how to use the tools. In general, you have to be familiar with the tools. And then you can start sharpening that to point it in a certain direction. So you want to learn Blender, just get comfortable with Blender in general. You don't want to try to model cars in Blender or learn to model cars if you're not familiar with every last fucking one of the tools that you have over here in edit mode. You have to be familiar with every single one of these here on the side. You have to be familiar with the modifiers. All the modifiers you have to be familiar with. Not all of them. Not all of them. You don't have to be familiar with all of them, but you have to be familiar with the popular ones. You have to understand what are the things that you have to know about this program, which you're 100% going to need. All right. You don't try to model a car yet. Just get familiar. Just get comfortable with the software. And once you do that, then when you go to watch Aryan's video on how to model a car, it's going to make more sense to you. If you're not familiar with the tools and you see Aryan teaching people how to model cars, you're going to see me do things which are just beyond you because you're not familiar with the tools. Okay? And that's also why I have my Blender Masterclass course in the description, which I'm also doing a discount for, by the way, guys. I didn't say that before. But there's a discount on the Blender Masterclass course for the holidays. So you want to get good with the tools, and then you can start moving in a certain direction. So you can apply this to anything. If you want to learn how to box, look at my hairline. What the fuck? Maybe I should stop and get a hair transplant in Turkey. If you want to get good at boxing, you're not going to go straight over to Mike Tyson's lesson, because if you go to watch Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather explaining something, they're doing shit at a very high level. And you're not going to understand, you're not going to be able to follow this stuff. Because what they do, what they teach you is how to behave in certain situations, and they already got the fucking moves down right, the fucking head movements and the footwork and everything. You're not going to be able to recreate this and simulate this situation and practice that scenario, because you can't even throw a fucking hook. You don't have the hip movement, you don't have the footwork so you can shift left, right, back and forth easily. Okay? But if you learn those things first, if you learn to use your body first, so first you learn to use one tool, which is the jab. Then you learn to use the hook. Then you learn to use the fucking left hook, right hook, overhand. Fucking, you learn some head movements. You learn how to block, you learn what sort of posture you should use in certain situations, whether you should cover yourself, whether this should be your default stance or whether you should do the other one, right? So that depends on the fucking situation. You should familiarize yourself with the basic things, and then when you see Floyd Mayweather performing something, you understand why he's doing things. You can recreate it. Okay? How can I fix my life? I'm 21, I lost ambitions. So just to finish my point, what you should do with Blender is make a list right now. This is going to take you 3 minutes. Just make a list. Go over every single one of these here. Look, all these tools. Just hover over it, write it down with a pen and paper, annotate. Okay, whatever the fuck. Add cube, extrude region, inset faces. Write them all down. Boom. It's 15 things right there. Then you got your modifiers. Generate. Boom, all of them. Deform, we got all of them. And then once you listed all these things down, and all these things up here, 3D cursor, pivot point, proportional editing, fucking snapping tool, whatever, all these menus or whatever, just write down a bunch of things. You're going to have a list of like 150 things. You can do that in 10 minutes. And then spend a month or 2 weeks just studying that shit. Just watch a tutorial for each one of those points. You're going to be familiar with it. Boom, 2 weeks and you're ready to go. And this shit takes people 6 years because they don't think to do this stuff. And yeah, exactly. So you watch the AK tutorial on slow speed because you're not familiar with the tools and methods that I'm using. If I watch a tutorial about modeling, I don't even have to pay attention to it. I can just sort of roughly skip through it and see how he did the things loosely. And I know how to do it myself because I'm familiar with all those methods. I just want to see which method he used. No sound. Don't fuck with me, guys. So, how can you fix your life? At 21, you lost ambitions. If you have no ambitions, then what do you want to fix your life for? Are you ambitious or not? If you lost ambitions, that means you have no interest in getting your shit in order. But assuming you do want to fix your life, you are ambitious, well, what is it that you want to do? Ask yourself those questions. What is it that you want to do? What do you want from this life? Do you want to have a nice body? Yes or no? For me, the answer is yes. What is it going to take for me to get a nice body and to look physically strong and good and able? It's going to take me hitting the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week for 10 years. Am I willing to do that? Am I able to do that? Yes, yes. Okay, fine. Let's do it, and we're not going to complain when it hurts. Do you want a girlfriend? Okay, what is it going to take? You're going to have to meet a bunch of women until you find one. You're gonna talking to him. What is that gonna take? You're gonna have to go out a lot, exercise your social skills, exercise your work on your appearance, work on your charisma, work on your style, work on everything. Are you willing to do that for a long time and so that you can meet a girl in the future? Yes, yes. Okay, then we go. I think everybody already knows the answers to all these questions. What do you want from life? Make a list. Then break down how you can accomplish those things. You probably already know the answer. Boom. And just make yourself a set of steps. Boom. Just follow them. It's easy. Just nobody does it. So everybody's a fucking loser. Okay. That's it for today, guys. Oh, hello from Ukraine. Guys, before we go, where's everybody from? Which country are you guys from? And how old are you? Are Python and C++ useful at your level? Nothing to do with me, but that's a totally different area. I don't use any of those. If I want to make myself a little Blender add-on, I just use ChatGPT, and that's it. But my brother is a professional coder and software engineer, so I don't need to learn this shit. I just ask him and he does it for me. Oh, I had a dream of starting a game dev company, but I didn't get much data at that time. But now want to be in the game. Yeah, listen, guys, I promised you that, or I asked you whether you think I should make a game, my own game. And I've had this idea, I had this conversation with my brother the other day, because I had this great idea for a video game. And I haven't decided whether or not I wanted to commit to this yet, because it's a big project. It will be like a little small, it'll probably be like a browser game. But you guys know that if Aryan makes it, it's gonna be something that you've never seen before. It's gonna be something crazy. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys posted on what my decision is going to be, and then if my decision is yes, then I can tell you a little bit more about what I'm going to create, because I'm already 100% certain that I know what I would create if I would do it. So don't bother sending ideas my way, because I'm 100% dead set on what the game is going to be about, and you guys are gonna fucking love it. Some of you are gonna hate it. Reddit's not gonna like it. Let me put it that way. I can throw that in there. Reddit's not gonna like it at all. Portugal, I've never been there. Sweden, I've been there. India, I haven't been, but I'm going soon. Iran, I've never been there, but I would like to go. Iranian people are the coolest people in the world. I think they're probably the best, the nicest people on the face of the planet. And I believe that we are in some way related. Our excuse me, my fucking stomach is making frog sounds. Our peoples are related. Romania, oh, I've been to Romania. Oh, I've been there 50 times. Czech, I've been there. I really like Czech Republic. Indonesia, I haven't been to Indonesia. I've been to Malaysia though. But I would like to go and see some voodoo shit in the jungle. Russia, I still haven't been, but I wanted to go in February this year. I wanted to drive there from Poland. But I decided to invest in crypto instead, and I'm glad I did. Brazil 27, I haven't been to Brazil. Algeria, I haven't been there either. Detroit, well, I've been to... How close was I to Detroit? Let me check Google Maps. Detroit is here, and I was in Massachusetts. I was in New York, What state is New York? Is the state New York? What state is New York in? I was in Connecticut, in Massachusetts, but not in Michigan. So it's quite far. Fucking hell, it's a big country. Swiss. I've not been to Switzerland. Well, I was when I was in the womb. I was in Switzerland. Well, I'm going to Mumbai, so I'm just gonna be there for half a day. I got a long layover, so I'm gonna take a walk outside and see what it looks like, what it smells like. The best thing about You Explain is ain't doing some kind of tutorial voice. Yeah, people always tell me that it's like the thing that's different about me is that I don't try to speak like I'm a TV reporter. I just talk the way I talk with fucking anybody in my friend group. If you like casual relationships, you're going to love Brazil. Tell me more about what do you mean by that, my friend? Do you, when you say if you like casual relationships, do you say, Aryan, if you like fucking bitches, you're going to love Brazil because you're gonna fuck a lot of bitches there with no trouble? Is that what you're telling me? Because I already know that. And that's not the reason I would go there. The reason I would go to Brazil, well, surely if I went, surely if I went, I had a dream that I fucked a Brazilian police officer, chick, of course. Surely if I went, it would be a difficult situation. But I would go because I want to see what it's like to go to a place where there's genuinely a threat of getting shot in the head on the street for no good reason other than your wallet. Everyone knows that you were in Romania. You look and sound just like Andrew Tate. I'm trying to wrap my head around that concept of how you produce that sentence. When I first went to Romania, the first, let's say, 30 times, or let's say the first 45 out of 50 times when I've been to Romania, the name Andrew Tate wasn't out there. Nobody knew this name. It wasn't a famous name. I've never heard of this person before. And what I will, what I would agree to is that the reason I like Romania is probably the same as the reason Andrew Tate likes Romania. And the first time I went there was when I was like 17 years old. It's a really cool place. Rude. Listen, man, this spamming shit is not gonna get you far. It's not in such a crude sense. People here are pretty laid back when it comes to relationships. Okay, exactly. So you go there, you fuck. The girl doesn't care. She's already 30 dicks deep. Forgive my my being so vulgar. So Brazilian chicks, what are you telling me, are easy to fuck? They're not looking for a relationship. They don't give a fuck. That's what you're telling me. Which is great, I guess. Bro, everything have good side. Everything have two sides, good and bad. As like a penny. India is dirty and poor in general in some areas, but not whole countries like that. Perhaps you're right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. How long we been here? 1 hour and 51 minutes. I'm gonna leave you now. It was a pleasure to speak to all of you. The sponsor of this live stream today is Aryan's Blender Masterclass course, which is on discount, 25% off approximately. I don't know what the percentage was. Discount for the holidays, which is going to teach you everything about Blender 3D and all the tools I'm using. Or on Patreon, we're doing a full car modeling course for this Aston Martin. So if you want to learn to model some cars, if you want to see Aryan modeling cars from scratch, with no bullshit, no add-ons, nothing like that, or if you just want to support the channel, or if you want to ask me a question or something, then you can go check out my Patreon page. It's in the description. Also follow me on Instagram, guys, because on Instagram I post some stories, I post some reels, I post some tips, I post my works. You can ask me a question. You can see some works that I put up there. And that's all for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. And you have yourselves a beautiful rest of your evening, or whatever the fuck it is where you are, morning or whatever.